Yep.
Okay.
Good evening. I call to order this regular meeting of the Minnehaha County Planning Commission and will begin with a few introductory comments. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, please make sure that all cell phones have been silenced. Please note that tonight's Planning Commission meeting will be rebroadcast via CityLink and posted on the www.minnehahacounty.gov site for viewing by the general public. Any final action taken on the conditional use permit applications tonight will take effect 5 working days following this meeting, unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the Planning Office by Monday, March 2nd, 2026 at 5 p.m. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the County Commission for a hearing on Tuesday, March 17th, 2026 at or after 9 a.m. The affected parties will be notified of the meeting date, and meetings of the County Commission are held in this same room. First on the agenda is public input. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? At this time, the Planning Commission will consider the consent agenda items on the consent agenda as perceived to be non-controversial and meet all of the requirements of the codes and regulations. The consent agenda will be acted on in one motion with no public hearing on the items unless a member of the public, the commission, or staff requests the item be removed from the consent agenda. Next, I'll read each item on the consent agenda and ask if there are any issues or comments from the Planning Commission, the audience, or a member of the Planning Commission or audience who would like to be heard on the item. Please raise your hand and the item will be moved to the regular agenda to allow you to address the commission later in the meeting. Any items remaining on the consent agenda will be approved by the Planning Commission with the conditions recommended by staff. Item number 1 is the approval of the January 26, 2026 meeting minutes. Item number 2 is conditional use permit 26-08 to allow an accessory dwelling unit, an ADU, on the property legally described as Tract 1, Stalls Addition, Northwest Quarter, Section 17, Township 101 North, Range 52 West. That is in Wellington Township. The petitioner is Bennett Stahl. He's also the property owner. The location is 26446 455th Avenue. Anyone from the commission, staff, or audience wish to be heard on this item? Item number 3 is conditional use permit 26-09 to allow an electrical substation on the property legally described as Tract 1, Hildring Addition, Southwest Quarter, Section 24, Township 101 North, Range 48 West. That is in Split Rock Township. The petitioner is East River Electric Power Co-op Incorporated. They're also the property owners. It's located at 48310 266th Street. Anyone from the commission, staff, or audience wish to be heard on this item? Okay, commissioners?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. If your item has been approved, you're free to go. We'll move on to the regular agenda. Conditional use permit 26-07 to allow an agricultural-related operation, in parentheses, is a portable building sales on the property legally described as Tract 4C and Tract 4D, Myers Addition, Northwest Quarter, Section 15, Township 103 North, Range 52 West. That is in Clear Lake Township. Petitioner and property owner is Brian Jones. located at 45721 252nd Street. Kevin?
Good evening. I am Kevin Hookman from the County Planning Department. This is a conditional use permit to allow ag-related operation. The petitioner is requesting to locate this operation on a portion of 2 parcels to display and sell portable buildings and sheds. The narrative that was provided does propose this sale to be agriculturally related and involving the handling, storage, and shipping of farm products. The narrative of the site plan also shows that the primary display, narrative and site plan, show that the primary display will happen right here along the east part of the west parcel. So there's 2 lots, and this will be on the vacant lot on the west there. The access will utilize the existing driveway, since the vacant parcel does not have an existing driveway. And that the application only lists the storage and display and sale of the sheds. It does not list any reason for production of the sheds or way to do that. It must be off-site. Staff looked at this and finds the sale of portable buildings typically placed in commercial industrial zones. Although portable sheds can be used for agricultural purposes, is not specifically the sale of sheds is not specifically listed as a land use within A1 agricultural district. However, portable sheds can also be used for non-agricultural purposes as well, and the use is closely related to retail commercial uses. As far as the conditional use permit criteria, the 6 criteria that are used to evaluate all conditional use permits. Criteria number 1, the effect upon the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate facility or vicinity for the uses already permitted and upon property values in the immediate vicinity. This proposed shed display will change the character of the area. It's in a subdivision of 2 houses and 2 vacant lots. Even though the changes may be minimal, even if it's only a small area. The proposed land use will be highly visible and clearly commercial in nature. The operation hours is from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. With 2 customers per day and up to 2 employees. The added customers and trucks will be a change to the neighborhood. Number 2, the effect upon the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding vacant properties for uses predominant in the area. The current area is predominantly agricultural with several residences and vacant lots. The area is likely to remain agricultural for a long time into the future. The proposed commercial-like business will be a contrast to current and future development in the area. Approval of this might also lead to similar requests throughout the county. Number 3, the utilities, access roads, drainage, and or other necessary facilities are provided. The proposed land use will not require any extension of utilities. Neither will it significantly change the drainage of the area. There are no lights that are proposed for the development. 4, that off-street parking and loading requirements are met. The narrative explains that there are 10 parking spaces available, be along the existing driveway right here in the picture. And there's no description for the driving surface for the ground surface. The ordinance does not have a requirement for hard surfacing or surfacing requirements for ag-related operations. Number 5, the measures are taken to control offensive odor, fumes, noise, dust, and vibration and lighting, inclusive of lighted signs, so that none of these will constitute a nuisance. The display and sales should not create odor, fumes, noise, or vibration. There may be a little bit of additional traffic that could create an additional dust. As I noted earlier, there are no plans for lighting that were submitted, so it is presumed that there's no specific lighting for the display. Number 6, health, safety, general welfare of the public, and the comprehensive plan. As I noted, Staff does have concerns regarding the commercial nature of this business. Retail is not even allowed in a home occupation elsewhere in the ordinance. Second, permitting of this use may lead to copycat operations elsewhere in the county. Action 4 of Goal 4.9 of the Envision 2045 Comprehensive Plan action is to locate commercial uses at interstate highway interchanges and high-traffic intersections to support highway users. And this location is not near either one of those types of locations. So at this, I'll go through a few of the photos here. This is looking towards the house, you kind of clipping the property where the display would be located. This is looking back from the driveway to where the display will be located, and onto the kind of the fence line right here will be where that display will be located. And then this is looking directly from the road, and from that location looking to the nearest neighboring property. I'll bring it back to the site plan. Staff is recommending denial of conditional use permit for the, as reported in the staff report. Is there any questions?
Any questions for him?
Madam
Right.
Chair, can I just ask one?
Sure.
He owns both parcels, and is that correct on there?
Yes,
Okay. And they're both have building, or the one has a building eligibility on it then, correct?
yes.
Okay. That's why I just want to make sure.
Okay. Is the petitioner here? Please step forward, state your name and address.
Thanks. I'm Brian Jones. I own both parcels at 45721 252nd Street.
Anyone have questions for him?
Yes, Madam Chair, yeah, I was just gonna ask you to, can you give us just your plan here and what your intent is?
Yeah. First, I want to apologize for my ignorance, and I know it's not an exception here. I've got a proposal here I'd like to give to somebody for you here. It addresses everything that was documented in your letter there. So what I'm really doing is I'm starting a shed moving business. So I own a truck and a trailer, and we pick up sheds and we move them from point A to point B. Every once in a while, there's a good deal on a shed, or somebody wants to get rid of a shed because they're moving or they want to repurpose that area. So I'm not looking to be a shed manufacturer dealer like you see driving down the road or on Clifford Avenue. I have no desire to do that. The intentions of me purchasing this property 10 years ago was to have privacy. I do not want to have a commercial operation. I have no intentions of ever building sheds as well. So my proposal is I would have a maximum of 5 sheds. These are used sheds. They're not brand new sheds. They're not the size of a garage. These are sheds that we would see driving down the road.
You gotta turn around, upside down. Yep, there we go.
Only 5 sheds would be displayed, maximum at any time, and no expansion beyond 5 without an amended conditional use permit. Number 2, no on-site manufacturing or assembly. No construction, fabrication, or assembly of sheds shall occur on the property. All sheds are delivered fully completed from off-site locations. Number 3, because it is not a commercial operation, it is an appointment only. I'm sure most of you have sold something on Facebook Marketplace. It's the same situation. It's a transaction between 2 people. It's not a public access, come up, take a look. So all sales will be by appointment only, no walk-in retail traffic, and no regular posted business hours. The employees on there, I listed 2 employees. I considered myself an employee, and my son is the other one who helps deliver the trailers. So he's an employee, I guess, but there's no actual employees on the site at any time on that one. So no on-site employees other than myself, and no customer service staff or sales personnel present. For the commercial structures, there is no showroom, there is no office building, there is no permanent construction site, and only temporary placement of finished sheds would be permitted. If permissible, I don't even want a sign on the property. I don't want to be known as a place to go to look for sheds. This is a private transaction. So no illuminated signage, signage limited to one small if required by ordinance, and no display lighting. The customer traffic limited to no more than 1 or 2 appointments per day. I think that's even overkill, to be honest. Deliveries limited to transporting sheds only, and there's no semis. I don't have a CDL. I have no desire to have a CDL. This is a regular F-350. Good. Dust and romance. So I can maintain only my approach on there. I would love nothing more than to control the dust and do it myself if allowed, but I don't think the county is going to let me put my own dust control down on there. The mail carriers put up more dust than I will consume in a month. No changes to drainage patterns. The other thing is this would be non-transferable. This is a site-specific, so the opportunity that somebody would want to copycat this would be extremely difficult because it is so contingent on everything that is here. And then I left it open here that the conditional use permit would expire if no sheds were put on there for, I don't know, 6 months, if you want to. And then last one is approval applies only to this parcel and does not establish precedence for any other properties, and it's also not transferable. So again, I'm not looking to run a business from my home. I am moving sheds that require me to park my truck and trailer there, and to have maximum of 5 sheds there that I could sell on the side, I think would be fair. Driving from Highway 38 to my property, which is a 6-mile drive, there's 4 properties with 3 or more sheds on their property. So it would blend in with the rest of the surrounding properties around there. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Any questions? Oh, Cindy, go ahead. Sorry. It's like, sorry. Sorry.
I would have called on your.
That's right. That's okay. I was like, I'm blind. Yeah. So are they always going to be like agricultural sheds, like old chicken coops and garden sheds? Or are you going to go into Sioux Falls and grab sheds out of Sioux? I don't know what kind of sheds they were talking about. And then also, do you really have to have 5? And so are you buying a shed, then you move it to your house and you sit it there until somebody buys it, and then you buy another shed? And so I'm just trying to understand.
Sure,
Obviously, it's
yep.
different than what I perceived when I read this report.
Absolutely.
Way different.
Yes, yeah. So to, which question you want me to answer first there? You had a couple of them.
You answer what you want to answer, and I'll remember what I asked you.
Okay, all right. 5 sheds is actually less than what commercial sheds have. So if you were to drive, I'm sure you've seen them driving down the road. There's some over by Menards. There's some up on the Peterbilt dealership on Cliff. They're everywhere. On your way to Walmart, there's 10 sheds that are there. The sheds that I'm looking to move are sheds that you would have in your backyard, something that you would have your lawnmower in, your garden tools in, a greenhouse. Chicken coops, not really what I want to get into. I have zero desire to do anything with chickens. I don't have chickens at my house now. I don't want chickens at all. So chicken coops, no, I don't have any. Kennels, absolutely. Dog kennels are very popular. Loading sheds, cow shelters for animals are also very popular, and those we could move and help out as well. But the main focus of it is a 10 by 12, 12 by 12 garden shed you would have in your backyard, or a 10 by 12 greenhouse that would be back there.
Anyone else have any questions for him? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have another question.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So how long, I don't know if you've been doing this already somewhere else, how long is the turnaround? How long are those sheds sitting there?
So I've just started the business, and that's why I'm here. I'm actually trying to follow the rules and get permission rather than coming in here begging for forgiveness. So having a shed that, you know, a 10 by 12 is actually legally not having to have a building permit. So if I was to put 2 sheds on there, nobody would have known anything at all.
Another question.
Go ahead.
Is there a size limit on what you're thinking about your moving? Because I'm assuming if you have a trailer, you know about how big you can move a shed.
I can legally go, well, I have a wide load permit, so I can go pretty wide. Safely with my trailer that I have, the widest I can go is 14. and the longest I can go is 32, which would be a single stall garage. That's the largest shed. They're not very, I wouldn't be competitive. People don't buy those and sell those. It's more garden sheds.
Okay, anyone else?
I can add on to that a little bit. Think of it this way. If you are going to be selling your house and you had a 10 by 12 shed that housed your bicycles and your lawnmower and your snow blower, and you were moving to a new house that did not have a shed, would you want to put all of that in your garage? Probably not. Would you want to purchase a new shed for $5 to $6 grand? Probably not. It's less expensive to move the shed to your new property. Some people want to get rid of their shed altogether because they bought a home and they don't want the shed. Maybe they want to put up a swing set. That's an opportunity for me to get the shed out of there. I charge them for the move. And then I'm able to sell that and move it to another property.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone from the audience wish to speak to this item? Okay, commissioners? Joe?
Madam Chair, I can get the dialogue started here. I think this is less of a commercial operation than when I read it in the packet, and I think we're A1 agricultural zoned, and I would lean against a commercial operation popping up. This sounds much more limited in scope, so I guess I'd kind of feel out my colleagues to see if there's other conditions that we think we can really hem this in, or if some of my colleagues are a little bit more stringent in the reading of what is allowed on A1 agricultural, because yeah, this seems to be kind of stretching more into what we would think of on commercial, but I'm open to getting to yes on this one, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Okay, anyone else?
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
I would just throw out the suggestion that if you, as a body, are inclined to, if you're looking at recommending approval for this, I would ask that you perhaps also consider continuing it for 1 month in order for us to prepare some conditions of approval. We don't have any for you tonight.
Cindy?
I'd be in favor of continuing it for 1 month just to see what you can come up with. I mean, I've thrown out a few ideas on my own paper because I was ready to probably deny it just from the reading of it. But I'm kind of with my fellow commissioner, well, not fellow commissioner, but fellow commissioner, that this is a little different than a commercial use. And if maybe a condition even that these have to be used buildings moved from another property and not, and maybe even a size limit, I'm not sure. But I might be inclined to support it with some decent recommendations and maybe less than 5.
That's what I was going to ask. If you, do you want us to put a number of, maximum number of sheds that could be on the property at any one time? You're thinking 5 or less? Or,
I personally think there needs to be a number.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, thanks.
And Madam Chair, I would just note, I think the applicant here has been very constructive by listing out some voluntary conditions. They're just not necessarily in the format that staff would, we just revisions thereof. But I think obviously the applicant is willing to work with staff in good faith to come up with a certain number of conditions. And I think the applicant seems to be self-aware that he's not wanting to create a precedent that would extrapolate to other areas of the county. So I think we might all be on the same page of writing this fairly narrowly tailored to his situation.
Anyone else have a comment?
Madam Chair,
Thank you.
my colleagues have put it well. Yeah.
Okay.
And would you be looking for a motion to
Motion?
defer to next month? That'll be my motion then.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and second to defer conditional use permit 26-07. Any further comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Any old business? New business?
So I'm coming back up, Kevin Hookman from the County Planning Department. The new business, we have several ordinance amendments that staff has been working on and is continuing to work on. The ordinance amendments do cross over into all kind of the joint jurisdiction areas throughout the county. So we have the 3 ordinances, and we'll amend all the county, the joint jurisdiction around Del Rapids, and the joint jurisdiction around Sioux Falls. Several of these ordinances are repeating because there's, I think, 6, right, if I can remember my count right. And the major one that we're working with is going to be first the fee update. Minnehaha County has not updated the fee since 2005, and a lot of changes have happened for prices since 2005. I have been looking at other counties and cities within the state to kind of pinpoint where those new dollar figures should be close to are being in the same kind of ballpark as other governments. And that would be ordinance 2601, and that would also be, wow, these are all kind of out of order. I don't know how I got them all in order. 2601, 2604, and 2606 would be the fee ordinance updates. And then the other ordinance amendments, as presented in your packet, would include a joint jurisdictional with Del Rapids to add accessory dwelling units in the joint jurisdictional area. We did that with the county in the Sioux Falls area, as well as changing requirements around the transferring of building eligibility in that joint area as well. So those are going to be mirroring what we have done already in the county and the city. And then finally, I didn't mention this last month that we're looking at changes in the sign ordinance for the joint jurisdictional area around Sioux Falls. We're bringing these as a memo so that we can request a specific hearing date. And I think we will have, like I said, we have been working on these and we have some drafts that are going through. And if you want individual questions, you can give me a call and we can kind of talk through things. But we're looking at a hearing date for an ordinance on March 23rd for all these items. And that's what we're looking for, I guess. Is there any questions?
Any questions for him? Thank you. Anything
Madam-
else? Go ahead.
Madam Chair, do we need a motion for each item, A, B, C, and D individually?
We should do them individually.
Okay. Madam Chair, I move that we authorize a notice for a public hearing for county fee ordinance amendments number 26-01, 26-04, and 26-06. And that would be for March, a hearing date of March 23rd, 2026.
Second. Okay, I have a motion, and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Becky.
I make a second motion that we authorize notice of a public hearing for the Del Rapids accessory dwelling unit ordinance amendment number 26-02 for a hearing date of March 23rd.
A second.
I have a motion, and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
All right.
Go ahead.
I move that we authorize notice of public hearing for the Del Rapids transfer of building eligibility ordinance amendment number 26-03 for a hearing date of March 23rd, 2026.
Second that.
Okay, a motion second on the floor. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Madam Chair. I move that we authorize notice of public hearing for the Sioux Falls sign regulations ordinance amendment number 26-05 for a public hearing or hearing date of March 23rd, 2026.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.